Hi, how are you? Thanks for joining me today. Today that I'm recording this is on August the 29th, 2020. And I'm reading today from a little devotional, which some of you who follow me, and by the way, my name is Sharon Pasula, in case you didn't notice or forgot. Uh, and for those of you who've read some of my things already or watched me, occasionally I read from a Pilgrim's Almanac. And so they have some very interesting things on here. And so for today, it really struck me today. They in this book here, it's a Christian book, so they have feast days. It's the feast of this, the feast of that, that sort of thing. So August the 29th is the feast of the beheading of the prophet John the Baptist. I had no idea there was such a thing. So, August 29th, Feast of the Beheading of the Prophet John the Baptist. After lashing out against King Herod's morals, the baptizer loses his head for speaking his mind. He is the patron of those who speak out fearlessly against the immoral injustices of our times. A day to reflect on our times of self-protective silence. So I'm happy to say that John the Baptist would be my patron saint because I speak out, sometimes fearlessly, sometimes not quite so fearlessly, against injustice in our times. And if you know me, you will know that, especially if you read my or watched my last one of my recent videos called Out of the Whirlwind. So today, instead of reading about people of faith who have been persecuted or killed or been severely oppressed in the world today, which there is a lot of information about that, I decided to read a little portion from a book I'm reading because very few people know this. And I think it's important for people to know. And if I was you, I would want to know. So this book I'm reading is 2084, Artificial Intelligence and the Future of Humanity by John Lennox. And he is with the Ravi Zacharias group. He's a very good speaker. I've heard him speak. And this book, very current, 2020, by Zondervan. So I'm going to read just a little portion out of one of the chapters here. Because it does relate to having a patron saint who will kind of help you out, if you could, for speaking your mind. Hopefully, we won't lose our heads, but we'll wait and see. So this little part is called Surveillance Communism. Just as one downside of information harvesting is surveillance capitalism, another might be reasonably called surveillance communism. In March 2018, the Future of Humanity Institute at the University of Oxford published a report on the development of artificial intelligence in China, where, it is said, 197 billion was spent on domestic security in 2017, and where they expect to install more than 400 million CCTV cameras by 2020. Some of what George Orwell envisioned for 1984 is already with us. So what it will be like by 2084 is anybody's guess. Although the underlying trend is clear. China is already using artificial intelligence, or AI, in order to achieve social control. And I'm not going to read the reference for that because it's quite a long reference, but it is in the book. So they are gradually rolling out a social credit system in order to check on the reliability and trustworthiness of citizens. The system consists in starting each citizen with the award of 300 social credit points that can be added to by good, i.e., government-approved behavior, like using public transport, keeping fit, reporting on someone you have seen with large amounts of foreign currency. As your points accumulate, you are granted more and more perks. Access to a wider range of jobs, mortgage opportunities, school placements for children, goods, travel possibilities, etc. If you behave in ways thought antisocial, like associating with people regarded unsafe by the government, coming into conflict with the police, or overindulging in alcohol, you will lose points, and that will eventually result in penalties. Limited access to the job and housing market, restrictions on travel, or even on the range of restaurants you can visit, etc. You might even end up being denounced as a discredited person on a public television screen as you walk past it. Pause here. Commentary. Imagine you're walking down the street, there's a television. There might be a television on every corner. And because of face recognition, the camera grabs you, accesses your file, and yells out, "Discredited person." Very loud, booming, probably amplified, and everybody's going to stop and stare at you, and you are marked. And that could happen. Okay, much of this control is exercised by the use of advanced artificial intelligence facial recognition techniques, working on a vast database of images channeled into a central computing center from what will soon be millions of CCTV cameras. The Times reported that some Chinese companies are fitting their employees with headgear that conceals technology that can read the wearer's brainwaves and send the data to computers that, in turn, use artificial intelligence to check for emotions such as depression, anxiety, or anger. 6 months later, we learned that China plans to implement the social credit program for all of the almost 22 million citizens of Beijing. The Telegraph reported that the Chinese government has stated that, quote, the points system will improve the city's business environment by preventing people with low integrity from accessing the city's public services and travel network. People with a low credit score could also find it difficult to start a business or find work, end quote. Channel News Asia reported in March that 9 million people had already been blocked from buying tickets for domestic flights and 3 million from obtaining business class train tickets. It is not hard to see that these plans represent a massive hacking of human beings and are taking the world a rather scary step towards the perfection of a potentially global dictatorship, the setting up of an authoritarian dream world whose ideology could spread around the world like a virus and whose legitimacy is secured by the most comprehensive and powerful state surveillance apparatus in history. China's police cloud system is built to monitor 7 categories of people, including those who undermine stability. And that was on page 17. So that's just one excerpt from the book. And so now you know why the US, in particular, does not want China's 5G system in the United States. And that's why they've been encouraging other European countries not to allow China's 5G into their country, because we know, of course, they are going to use it for surveillance. So don't take my word for it. Research it a little bit. Buy this book. And I don't know, maybe I'll take a picture of the references and post them on my Facebook page. But anyway, now you know. And now you know why some people are so opposed to more cameras, more surveillance, more kind of big brother stuff. So my patron saint is John the Baptist. And if I ever get beheaded for standing up, then I will be a martyr and I will earn the martyr's crown. But I sincerely hope that Jesus Christ will return the second time and take me away to live forever with him in a wonderful place, certainly far superior than where we're living now. So thanks for listening. And if you have any comments, yeah, do that. And I would appreciate your prayers. So be blessed and prosper. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord cause his face to shine upon you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Shalom. Shabbat shalom.